is a very big part of my life, both professionally and personally. I saw people suddenly around me who loved wine and enjoyed it responsibly start to overanalyze whether or not they had a problem. Just because we love something and would find it hard to give up doesn't necessarily mean we have a problematic relationship with that thing. And of course, this applies to many other indulgences and activities like exercise, chocolate, sex, coffee. Anything to an extreme does become a problem.
Well, is a nightly wine ritual all that different than a morning coughing break? Now, we choose to do different things every day that might not be that great for our health, but that do bring us great joy. Now, Devin joins us, and she says that drinking is part of her daily routine, and she believes that while some might be at a crossroads with their drinking, the media and messaging surrounding the sober curious movement suggests that we all have a problem. What do you think about that?
I was getting to the point where in the height of the sober curious movement, it felt like there was no middle ground, and it was only painting alcohol as a poison to us, and you were waking up hungover and you were making irresponsible decisions with your life if you chose to drink. And I saw people around me suddenly being like, God, do I have a problem? I have a glass of wine. Is this a problematic relationship with alcohol? And I think it's possible to drink and enjoy something in the same way we enjoy coffee, chocolate, sex, with moderation and responsibly, and it not be a problem.
Like, I play tennis like every day of my life. And I have a court at my house, and my friends come and drink, and we play, and then they drink a few beers afterwards or whatever. And I've never seen one of them get drunk. I've never seen one of them it change their personality or whatever. I see zero problem with it at all. These guys are good athletes, they're in great shape, and anybody would say that was a negative would have a hard time convincing me, and I totally abstain. So I see exactly what you're talking about. It's when you go past moderation, and so I was doing some research from a lot of sources to see what constitutes going past reasonable. And heavy drinking seems in the literature, and Dr. Stewart, you can weigh in on this as well, like 3 or more drinks a day or 7 drinks per week has kind of been defined in the literature as heavy drinking. How do you define where it crosses a threshold and becomes an issue?
Yeah, I don't like those kinds of measures, really, even though you do see them in the literature. But I prefer what these women are doing. And what they're doing is they're looking inside themselves and trusting their own intuition. That's why I like the alcohol use disorder scale, because the person is themselves saying, okay, is alcohol getting in the way of my goals and my values in life? And then you can be put on a continuum of mild risk, moderate risk, severe risk for alcohol disorders or difficulties.
Do you guys think you had a sense of when you were crossing the line where you'd be safe to drive or have good judgment?
Absolutely. I think for me, I always knew when my drinking was problematic or not, but there was certainly an awakening moment for me when I got alcohol poisoning and poisoned myself. Let's just call it that, because if we call it that, then that takes the accountability for problematic drinking. And when that happened, I kind of went the way she explained is more healthy, which is just saying, is this working for me? I don't know if this is working for your statistics and your research, but is this working for me personally, waking up day in and day out and having to live with myself? And it wasn't. And that's when you kind of reevaluate.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.